All right, welcome everyone. In today's video, we're going to be doing one of these collaborative work style problems. These are word problems, and they are popular, on the SAT and other math exams as well. And so let's go ahead and go through this one and see how we can solve it. So starting off with the statement of the question, we have two folks, Alice and Bob. They're hired to mow a lawn together. Alice, if she was doing it just on her own, could mow the lawn in 2 hours. Bob, on the other hand, has a more standard mower, not as large as Alice's mower, and it would take him 3 hours to complete the job on his own. And the question becomes, if they work together, how long will it take them to mow the lawn? And we do have, this is a multiple choice style question, and so there are some answers here. And we're going to solve this problem kind of pretending that, I'm not really looking at the answers at this point. We could do another video. If you're interested in this, please let me know. And I'd be happy to make a video on how can we maybe eliminate some of these? Why are some of these maybe not so reasonable? And in fact, we can kind of get this down to maybe one or two possibilities here. And so if you're interested in that, yeah, please let me know. And I'd be happy to make that video a little bit later. So for the time being, let's just try to solve this problem without really looking at these multiple choice answers too much. And then hopefully our answer matches one of them. All right. As always, I recommend that you guys try this problem on your own. So now would be a great time to pause the video, give this one a go, see how far you can get, and then we'll bring it back together and kind of see what the final answer is together. All right. With that, we're going to get started on solving this problem. So when I'm trying to solve these problems, I'm usually thinking about this kind of old, science or physics equation, this distance equals rate times time. So in our particular example, right, it's not really a distance here that we're getting out. We're completing some job, in this case, mowing the lawn. And so I'm thinking about converting this, right, into, how long does it take to mow one lawn? Well, there's going to be, right, these mowers have different rates to them. And of course, there's some time that goes along with that, right? So we're still trying to complete some job, in this case, mowing a lawn. And really what we're interested in at the end of the day is we would like to add the two rates together, right? We have how fast can Alice do it on her own? How fast can Bob do it on his own? And we're interested in both of them completing this task together. So we're going to want the rate of Alice plus Bob. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and start plugging in some specifics? So if I was thinking about for Alice here, we know that she can mow the one lawn in 2 hours. So if we want to go ahead and divide and figure out how fast can Alice mow the lawn, well, that would be one lawn per 2 hours, or 1/2 of a lawn per hour. And we can carry around these units if you'd like. Or, of course, you can drop them. That's also fine. So this is the information for Alice. On the other hand, if we have Bob, Bob can mow one lawn in 3 hours. So he's going to have his own rate. And this is where technically, right, it would be better to maybe use some like subscripts or something like this, because these R's are not the same, right? They're going to be different. In fact, let's just go ahead and solve for this other R here. So R would be one lawn every 3 hours, or 1/3 of a lawn per hour sort of deal, right? These are not the same R's. And so they really shouldn't have the same notation. And so really in my first case, this was the rate that Alice is working. So this is maybe I'll use R sub A for Alice. And in my second case, right, this was the rate at which Bob's working, right? He can do 1/3 of the lawn every hour, right? And so therefore, after 3 hours, he completes the lawn. And so again, what our ultimate goal is to figure out if they work together and we had one lawn being done by both Alice and Bob together, the question is, how long does it take, right? What is that time value there that it would take? Well, now that we know what the rates are for Alice and Bob, we can go ahead and plug these things in. So we have 1/2 plus 1/3. And now there are multiple good ways to go about solving this from here. I'm going to go ahead and get a common denominator. So let's see, I'm going to multiply this one by 3 on top and bottom, and this one by 2 on top and bottom. And so I'm left with, right, this is 3/6 plus 2/6. So that's going to be a total of 5/6. Let's go ahead and fill in some of my other stuff that I kind of dropped here. And then lastly, if I'm interested in solving for the time, well, I want to cancel out this multiplication by 5/6. In order to cancel out a multiplication by 5/6, right, I'm going to multiply by 6/5. And so, of course, if I do that on the right-hand side, I need to also do that on the left-hand side. So now these things very nicely cancel out. The 5's on top, the 6 is on bottom, vice versa. And so we're left with 6/5 is equal to t. And that, if we plug into our calculator, we get the answer of 1.2. Now, again, if you're following units along, right, this would be 1.2 hours. And so our final answer here is going to be B. All right. So again, just to recap here, thinking about this kind of distance equals rate times time, right? How long does it take to complete this job of mowing a lawn? We first calculated out what are the rates for each one of these workers, Alice and Bob, and then we want them to be working together. So we're going to add those rates together. Then we can again go back to our D equals RT sort of equation, and this time we can solve for T. How long will it take them to complete this job? All right, well, I hope that this has been useful for you. Please let me know if I missed anything or if you have any questions in the comments below. Otherwise, I wish you all the best and take care.